Hello everybody, my name is ANDAY and welcome to another reaction video. Today is going to be all about the amazing digital circus. Uh, Particularly the film theory about it. So I wanted to talk more about digital circus because, I feel like, part of me didn't get to talk about it that much in my reaction to it. And I don't want to do that much anymore. Not saying I don't want to react, but I don't want to like let the thing play out and then talk little bits slash barely say much of anything because I know that's kind of not what people look for in a reaction video. They usually look for what the people in the reacting to the thing has to be saying. So is uh what I say is I'm going to be trying to do more of that. I'm a little pausing, a little, uh, rewinding all that stuff, including the video we're watching today. Now this is by Film Theory MadPat. So I'm not. I don't. I think they've made film theories on little web shows like before. I think the one that I remember more was Salad Fingers. That one is honestly unnerving. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what they have to do with this because the amazing digital circus is it's a particularly like mysterious story. Like there's little mystery elements going around all over what is in this world. Like they could have easily had it been okay. This is a funny little episode, and then behind the scenes they show that it's actually people trapped all this time. But no, they don't do that. It's not like an animated video from like 2016 where it's something familiar, but then there's a big scary twist at the end, the creepy, the unnerving, the freaking what am I thinking of? Don't Hope You Got Scared. Yes, that one is an exceptional good example of something like that, which it's not a bad thing, but it doesn't need to be what this is. Like they show you straight away that sure it's a digital place, and then we see Pomni pretty much spawning in, and then the explanation goes on from there. Another human has entered the realm. They're all humans apparently, all except Kane, who they don't elaborate on that, but it's like self-explanatory really. Like you sure there's mystery here and there, but they don't inherently over explain, nor do they not leave things like they quickly tell you the reality of the situation, which is obviously these people, they're in this digital world now and they're all trapped and they have to pretty much not go insane by going on the adventures and talking to each other and having fun pretty much, which it's like actually a really good and really decent idea, and something I'm sure everyone will want to see more episodes of, myself included. Like I probably can't wait for episode 2 whenever that drops. I feel like I really need to see it right now. But so yeah, I'm very interested to see what the film theory has. I know some people are a little uh let's say do they assume okay, the film theory is probably not gonna be good. I'm not really one for that. I just say hey, he makes a good theory, he makes a good theory. If he doesn't, then it's just a theory. you know you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, again, I reacted to a few times before. I think it was only the Five Nights at Freddy's movie one, that where he made some really good points, and I'm not gonna say spoilers, but he was, I don't want to say accurate, but like he definitely gave good examples on what he wanted to share and wanted to say, and also for the most part it was well done, well done. So in this one, I haven't heard anything about it, but I'm interested to see what points he'll go over, what details he'll share, because I remember in his GT Live, there's that little cut where he goes from that scene at the end where there's Pomni sitting in the middle table, where they cut from that to just the Jesus Christ at the dinner or the table. What is it called? What's it called? I should know this. The you know, the what do you call it? It's the Last Supper. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't need to look that up. I wasn't looking it up. I know it by memory. I know. Anyways, I think I've talked long enough. I might as well get into why we came here, why I'm here. I'm still in this void. Help me, guys. Help me, please. I'm still here. Help. But it's okay because I have game theory to watch. Haha. Yeah, let's get to this is me from the past saying, let's get to 200 subscribers, please. And yeah, I know. I probably reached that by now because I post these super late. I need a better schedule. Anyways, nothing about all that. Let's just get into the video. Well, the availability measures is lying to you. Ooh, let's see. Boom, boom. Let's see. Is it loud enough? Okay. All right, that's good. Ooh. Radical. Oh, there's that part of
There
this.
is no escape.
Ooh.
Ever.
ASMR. Oh.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory.
Yeah.
The show that'll be theorizing day after day after day after day after day, and we don't know why. Let's talk about the amazing digital circus,
Yes.
shall we?
You, my friend, stumbled into an incredible world of wonders where anything can happen, except for swearing.
Oh my god.
In case you aren't caught up with this one, this is the latest series from the creative
Oh, that's
geniuses over at Glitch Productions.
Yup.
This one was written, produced, and directed by Gooseworks, a talented
Yes.
artist who also composed music for both Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss. And their
Ah.
creativity and experience really come through with this one. I gotta say, you guys went crazy recommending this one to us across comments, GT Live, and our subreddit. And it's pretty darn easy to see why. Between the amazing animation, gifable moments, and incredible cast of characters, and a storyline wrapped up in like 18 different layers of mystery, this is the perfect show for us to dive into. Which means that if you haven't watched the first full episode yet, go do it. Watch it.
Watch it now.
Theory. Though I'd be surprised if you hadn't, because this thing already has like 30 million views across the platform. It is doing mighty well for itself. But just so we're all on the same page for today's theories, the pilot follows a woman named Pomni, who's thrust into a strange digital world styled after a circus, alongside 5 other humans. Jax, the lovable jerk, Ragatha, the sweet optimist, Gangle, who can't hide her emotions, Zubul, who's made out of a bunch of random objects, and Kinger, who's been trapped there the longest and has gone kind of crazy as a result. The whole circus is run by a ringleader named Kane, who according to the show's website is a, quote, wacky AI, and all of the humans are just subject to his every women desires.
Gadzooks, you're right, Jax. We should have a brand new adventure for our new member, Pomni.
I said that like 5 minutes ago.
However, humans don't necessarily want to go on these adventures, and they're constantly trying to find ways of getting out. This has even driven some of them insane, leaving them abstracted, where they evolve into monsters. Case in point, the clown Kaufmo was obsessed with finding the exit, and abstracts just before Pomni shows up.
Oh, Kaufmo's been obstructed. It's okay. What is that?
And yet,
Actually, mean to comment in. Oh no. Oh, I did it again. Shoot. Give me a second. Let me just go back to.
Been obstructed.
Okay, so here's the problem. When I put it onto a thing, then when I click away, it with my hotkey, it's also the face was funny. What I meant to say was, there was this theory I remember. Apparently that this whole place, it's in a loop, you know. So because Kaufmo, who was a clown, left or got abstracted, and never got to meet Pomni, the reason why Pomni is here is because Kaufmo left. You know? Does that make sense? Because Kaufmo got abstracted, he is repeating into the cycle, turning into Pomni, and you know, also I guess because Pomni doesn't even remember her human name. Well, she remembers the she remembers, you know, the headset, and which I don't know. I guess Kaufmo would know too, but who knows? They never really elaborated on who showed up and then who like left at the first time. Well, they said the Kinger was here, but let's be honest, it's probably a lot more than venue. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that because you know that's another thing I thought was interesting. You know, the little repeat theory. You know, Kaufmo, who was a clown, he got abstracted. Then Pomni, who's a clown/jester, shows up, and they never got to meet, and that makes sense. Okay, back to the video. Boom.
It's okay. What is that?
and yet even when Pomni does get herself to the exit in this pilot episode, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just endless hallways and office spaces repeating. It is basically the back rooms.
Oh,
Turns
yeah.
out Kane made this fake exit, hoping to give the humans what they wanted. Just didn't know what to put on the other side.
I do have to apologize for lying about the exit. I was having so much trouble figuring out what to put on the other side and ended up never quite finishing it.
And more or
Yep,
less,
that's true.
where we leave the colorful cast of the Amazing Digital Circus after this first episode. Now, already there's just so much world building here for us to dig
Oh,
into.
yeah.
So many questions posed that we want the answers to. Like, who's behind the Amazing Digital Circus? Is there an actual way out, or are they just trapped forever? Are characters like Kaufmo really gone, or can they be brought back in some way? And sorry to say, I don't have a whole lot of answers for those things. Not yet. For as much as Glitch and Gooseworks packed into the first episode, they've done the wise thing and not given us a whole lot of answers. But I do think they've given us plenty here to theorize about.
And it makes sense too because you know, like, well, at least from what they've shown, like, you know, it's who is really behind this. I believe, you know, they do mention this. They show the C and A thing, so that's probably like, you know, that's who made the Digital Circus. Whoever. I always said Kane because it's C and A, and then C is part of it. Oh, but A is two. A is two. That could be some. Oh no, it's in the thing again. There, is that good? All right, it's good. Oh shoot, I just muted the video. There, that's better. Okay, so yeah, like that also, and also the, you know, can abstracted humans be saved? From what we saw, it did it again, come on. Shoot. Okay, stay there. It looks like it probably cannot because, Kane made no attempt to help him. You know, like he made Ragatha and Pomni better, but he didn't do much of anything to Kaufmo. They just shoved him down the cellar with the others, who, you know, we don't know what's gonna happen to them, or they're just gonna be forever stuck in this digital world, which, I mean, our characters already are, but, you know, like they don't have consciousness anymore, which is also like pretty scary. Like, because, you know, we don't know for sure if they're all just bodies hanging out in the real world, or I don't know, maybe they're fed or something. You know, like maybe maybe they're in a coma actually. I know. Oh no, it's a coma theory. No. Listen, hear me out. Hear me out. What if when they put the headset on, they go into this thing, and then when someone approaches them, they just assume they're in, like, they knocked out, they're in a coma, there's something. So they take him to the hospital, and that's how they're being, you know, kept alive pretty much, is because they're being cared for in the real world while their digital mind is in this world. Does that make sense? No, I said I would try to pause and give my own take, but like, there's probably a lot. But actually, would the 2000s have that kind of technology? I don't know. I haven't looked into, you know, like, how good stuff was back then, and by back then I mean literally 20 years ago. That's right, everybody. It's been 20 years since 2020. Been 20 years since the year 2000. Let that sink in, and let it wash your hands. I don't know. Let's get into the. Let's get back in.
So here are 3 amazing digital circus theories. Don't
3?
run for the exit doors yet, my friends. We're going in. Let's start things off a bit small scale.
Purple.
Here. Theory number 1: everything in the show is literally a video game set in the late 1990s. Now, there's a lot in just this one episode that paints this as a video game world. For example, right at the beginning, we see a pixelated title card for the show.
Yeah,
It's obviously in the style of old school PC, PlayStation, and N64.
Again, I don't mean to interrupt, but I kind of just assumed it was like a early 2000s TV show because it reminded me so much of Roly Poly Oly. Oh, it's doing that again. Come on. All right, I gotta remember that when I'm pressing this thing, I have to put my hotkey. I have to click my mouse away and click it somewhere else in order to not have my new hotkeys press into the video, which. I gotta remember to do that now because I've updated my thing. You win some, you learn some. Anyways, yeah, I was thinking of Roly Poly Oly. This old TV show. It was on, I think, a Disney Channel, like maybe Disney Channel Junior or whatever, or Disney Junior, whatever the old shows was called. It was Roly Poly Oly, and it was exactly like this. It was like a 3D space world with 3D models, and it was rendered so bad. but it was very charming, very charming. I loved it a lot back then. It was like my serotonin TV show. I used to watch it all the time. I think I had a VHS for it. I'm not sure. So yeah, I had to. That was what I was going off of. But the comparison he's making between these video games, this makes a lot more sense, and it makes it's much more accurate than what I would have said, because what do I know? I'm only a 2000s kid. Yeah. I'm old. We're old guys. Let's be honest. We're all old, but we're also young, and to heart, and that's just me too. Yeah. Okay, let's get into this.
Board games. This is further driven home in a secret video that you can find if you go to wackywatch.com.
Oh, I should have done that.
On screen during the episode, which shows us the main
Also,
menu
FNAF
for
movie.
this game. We also see a flower pot fall to the ground and clip into it.
Yeah, clip into like Gmod.
Source engine glitch. Kane
Yeah.
mentions that he created the digital world in the weird backrooms office area in a way that's very similar to how a game developer would create.
Oh, yeah,
weird
that one.
spaces. Plus, when Pomni first enters the world, she says this.
I put on some weird headset and
VR.
now I'm here.
Again, directly implying that the whole thing is a game. She put on a VR headset and was transported.
Yeah, that's also something I missed.
Circus. All of that checks out and should be pretty darn obvious to the casual.
It's just like, hold on. It's just like FNAF. The help wanted, the character puts on a thing, and that takes them over. Glitch trap, everything. This wouldn't be out of place in the FNAF universe. Actually, guys, listen, hear me out. That's an interesting AU. You put on the headset, right, and you become a FNAF character. Huh? And the one who leads it is either well, I mean, Glitch Trap himself probably could be a good one, but also other characters for sure. Like it could be Bubble. Anybody else? It would be like a fun little thing. Like it doesn't have to be an AU. It could be what was it people used to make back in the day? People would dub pretty much anything into SFM, specifically FNAF. I know this. I remember this because there was at least 2 times I can remember where someone edited the trailer from Avengers: Age of Ultron into a FNAF thing where at the end there's Golden Freddy, at the end there's Springtrap, at the end there's somebody, but they just straight up like used audio for that to make a little trailer, and people would just dub things with like that. And so I feel like what they could do here is obviously just make like a little SFM where they have characters put on. Maybe it's Mike, maybe it's Vanessa, maybe it's other characters. They put them on, and then they become the character in this digital world. Huh? That's it's probably like some weird way of, hey, let's put 2 things together and make it cool. I don't know. It's just something that popped in my head. Like, hey, this would be cool. Yeah. I agree. Let's do that. Now let's watch this.
Viewer, but what you might have missed is the fact that this is set in the late 1990s.
Yes, this
and
is what
not
I.
the present day, like you might expect from something talking about using VR headsets.
Oh yeah.
There is a lot of circumstantial evidence that points us to this conclusion.
Elaborate.
Basically, all the tech that we see throughout the series seems to be pulling straight from the 90s. Anytime we see a computer in the show, it's always the white boxy styled CRT monitors and large white computer towers running models made by companies.
Those keyboards are so sticky.
Back in the 90s and early 2000s. And this is both in the actual episode
and
in the off-site material as well. In that same Wacky Watch commercial, we see a real-life computer with the same old-school design. What's more, the beginning of this Wacky Watch video says that this was an old tape recovered on a date that's censored. The degradation on that tape implies that not only is this video old, but it was also recovered in the past as well. But this goes beyond just the tech that's used in the series. Many of the characters and iconography from the show are very reminiscent of popular characters and ideas from the late 90s and early 2000s. Omni's gesture design takes a lot of cues from Sega's old Nights into Dream series. Jax shares design inspiration and a similar name with Max, the rabbit, from the Max games. Bubble clearly takes cues from Super Mario's Chain Chomps. Jax and Gangle were both inspired by characters like Poppy the Performer.
What is that?
3D animated series. While Kane and the digital circus setup very reminiscent of the villain and plot of I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, a short story by Harlan Ellison adapted into a point-and-click adventure game in 1995. Any way you slice it, it's very clear that the creators want the show to have the same 90s vibe that we're all so nostalgic for right now. But you're thinking, hold on, they're talking about VR headsets here. That's a modern thing, right?
Yeah,
this thing just be inspired by the 1990s rather than set in the 1990s?
Again, they do show or he's probably gonna cut to it, but I just want to mention they do show they have some weird. Oh, I did it freaking again, bro. Stop it. Stop it. Well, I have to tell myself to stop it because I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. Anyways, I was gonna say they show little like rudimentary. It's like it looks exactly like the old 90s computers, but they show this little headset in the thing. He's probably gonna catch it right now. I'm just saying for nothing. But it's really just weird for you that this is an alternate universe where they perfected VR technology in the 1990s. There's no reason to prove that wrong. Anyways, that's fine.
Call out. A lot of advances in virtual reality technology have only been made across the last decade, especially when you're talking about gaming. That doesn't mean that VR technology didn't exist back in the 1990s.
Oh.
I'm not just talking about the rudimentary black and red wire frames of the Virtual Boy either.
What is that?
In 1991, Sega announced the Sega VR. In 1993, Virtuality created the Mega Visor display. And in 1995, Fort Technology hit us with the VFX-1 headset.
I've never even seen these.
And looking into old footage of all these things, it doesn't look too dissimilar to the world that we see in the amazing digital Circus.
Okay, hold on. Okay, bro, tell me this doesn't look kind of fun. Like, even if it's in the super low budget of, you know, like, whatever this is going on. What if they made... Wait, hold on, hear me out. What if they actually made a digital Circus game? They could put in the new VR, they could have it be like, you know, they have to find adventures, they have to find a way to escape, they have to do something like that. That'd be super fun. Though I think you could probably already do that in VR. And by VR, I mean, you know, Oculus Rift. Oculus Rift, I think. You know, just... Or, no. It's, what's that game called? It's something, what is that game called? You know what I mean? It's a game where you can play, you can do a VR chat, I'm pretty sure. It's a VR chat. You can just, I don't know, load in characters, models from there, and then boom. You're in the digital Circus. Except you can leave. Me, I can't leave. I'm in this red void. I've said this about a lot of times. Okay, enough of that. Let's go into this. Boom.
Similar to the sort of world that we see in the amazing
that looks fun,
Circus.
honestly.
Simple,
I play
flat
that.
Textures, rudimentary shapes and polygons. There's not a lot of detail here, but that's for good reason. These headsets, they couldn't handle a lot of detail. True story, I actually have some first-hand experience with these rudimentary...
Okay, wait, hold on. This just reminded me of something. Okay, so do y'all have ever been to, you know, those pizza places around, you know, like Chuck E. Cheese? Have you been to, Dave and Buster's? Have you been to, freaking places that have games like this in the arcade? Have you ever seen that one game where it's like, it was literally an Oculus Rift? Hold on, I'll look it up, but you know what I mean. It looks exactly like this. Hold on. It looks almost exactly like this, where it's yellow. It has a yellow base here, and well, it's not yellow base here. It was like yellow on top, and it was black all around. And I think it was for it was either for racing or a shooting game. I can't remember, but that was a fun game for sure. If you go play it at, like, you know, Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, that was a fun game. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that. I'll stop.
Headsets. The Great Lakes Science Center in Cleveland, Ohio, actually had a special exhibit on VR technology in its basement when I was a kid, and it blew my mind. With the amount of wires and cables these things took to run, it felt like you were jacking into the Matrix, and you had to wait 45 minutes.
Okay, wait, hold on. Is it? He even looks like he's holding the same handle. Look at that. That's like the same thing. I swear, dude.
You had to wait 45 minutes to put on one of these headsets.
45 minutes?
Dropped into a video game. It was simple. I was walking through a purple field with a bunch of green triangular mountains in the background, but it was effective, and it captured my imagination for decades since. So much so that even though it was a 5-minute experience that happened in my life like 2 decades ago, I still remember it vividly to this very day.
I mean, that does look fun.
Bad childhood stories aside, the long and short of all of this, everything that we see in the series is pointing to this taking place in the past and not in the present. All of this has already happened from our perspective. We're just watching the events of the game unfold. So now that we know that we're in a 1990s video game here, let's dig a bit deeper, shall we? Theory number 2.
And also, not to interrupt everything, I swear, I just want to get into this point across. They are aware of a fourth wall, apparently. Or at least, you know, they're aware of they have to do all this, but, you know, it's like making a TV show. They're aware of this, you can see the intro and all that, but I don't know. I feel like if they thought that this audience, or they would actually reach an audience, they would, you know, try to make an attempt to communicate to the audience that they're stuck in there. Which, I mean, you know, probably wouldn't be able to do much of anything. But it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. They're fine. We're fine. It's okay. Okay, let's see. Pomni is what?
Pomni helped create this hell simulation.
Oh, I've heard of this one.
It's a pretty bold claim, so what would make me say that? Well, a couple of things. Firstly, one of the scenes that really jumped out to me while I was watching it
this part
was the sequence where Pomni's running through the back rooms on the other side of the exit door. At one point, she enters a more traditional-looking office space with computers and cubicles before stopping and staring at one desk in particular. This is played as a big moment. We linger on this shot for a long time as a classic horror-esque dolly zoom hits both the desk and Pomni before she has herself a psychological break. The lights start to flicker and she cackles uncomfortably before running on. The whole thing is really menacing and off-putting and clearly meant to leave us with a big impression. Why? Well, because this desk isn't just some simulation that Kane cooked up in the back room.
Okay, well, I imagine it's probably a desk that she found. You know, like she was probably like looting or something. She's probably like, from what it seems, you know, the computer itself looks old. The VR set that's there looks old. It's just, you know, like maybe she found the VR set then put it on, and then was just instantly blooped into the thing, which, you know, it's substantial evidence of her being able that worked into creating it. But, you know, if she would just transport it in, I feel like, you know, if she doesn't remember her name, she could at least, you know, say that, hey, I made that, or like, you know, say, hey, I made this world, why am I in it? Please let me out. I don't know. It's probably a dumb thing to assume. Anyways, let's see what he says.
It's based on a real place in the real world of this universe outside of the simulation. A place that we actually see in the episode. At the very end, right before the credits roll, we zoom out of the circus and through the void, revealing that all of this has been taking place inside of a computer. That makes sense.
Don't get spoiled.
Established that this right here is a big old simulation. But take a look at the computer and the desk. It's the exact same setup that we saw earlier in the episode in the backroom section. The same old equipment on the left, the same file cabinets on the right, the same retro monitor and keyboard and computer tower and speakers, the same VR headset and headphones. This is exactly the same, but clearly this one's in the real world. Not only have we literally zoomed out of the computer, implying that we're no longer in said simulation, but the lighting in the scene is...
Oh, bro, now hold on. I have to mention this, bro. Where is it?
Not only have we literally zoomed out of the computer, implying that we're no longer in said simulation.
Bro, you never...
But
I can't see. Anyways, you all watched that little, you know, when computers were loading, it would have those little pipes connecting and swirling around. I used to watch those all the time because, you know, you always hoped they would just fill up the screen, but they wouldn't, and they would just cut away to more pipes being connected, and it was just, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. I'm old. I'm a boomer. I'm sorry. I'm totally not. I'm just assuming, you know, 2020 years ago, and we're all suffering for it.
But the lighting in the scene is much more natural. It's warmer. Sunlight is streaming through the nearby window, all at an angle because the sun's lower in the sky. This is not the flat computer simulation lighting that we've been seeing throughout the rest of the episode. That right there, the desk and computer setup existing both in the simulation and in the real world, is already a pretty interesting point. But why would it break Pomni? What causes her to go off the deep end and start laughing?
Actually, something about this. Actually, how would Kane know about this? You know, like does he have an extensive knowledge of what the digital circus is? You know, did the programmers put that in there? Did Kane know how the setup is? Does he know that? He doesn't mention about the headset. He doesn't say anything about that, but he does. He makes this. So was he just lucky, or did he like assume, you know, assume such? Also, this face is great here. Hold on, not this one. Is there?
Off the deep end and start laughing.
Yeah, there. She's great. She gets sharp teeth for like 2 seconds, and it's great. Okay, so yeah, you know what I mean? Like, how would hold on, click just to be sure. How would he know about that? Look at me. Look at my thinking face. How would he know about the, you know, how would he know about that setup? Which is, you know, as an interesting question for sure, and something we won't get an answer to for like probably months in the future. Anyways, let's
Well, I think
Yep.
that subconsciously, Pomni recognizes that this is her desk. At the beginning of the episode, they make it clear that Pomni has lost her human memories. Like this, I believe, is triggering a deep.
Well, they mention the
realization
names.
inside of her.
They don't
Based on
mention,
what
you
we're
know.
given here, I believe that Pomni's human persona is an employee at CNA, a company developing the digital circus game and VR headset. And seeing
Yes.
it here inside the game unlocks some weird flash of her memory as to what's happening to get her into this situation. She's trapped in the very game that she helped to create.
Actually, that is interesting. Like, cause how again I mentioned that, but how would Kane know about that specific area? Like, he probably wouldn't know that specifically. That's just what Pomni is. That is what Pomni is viewing from her perspective. You know, that is interesting. I will say that.
Ironic, hence why she laughs. It's funny. It's darkly funny. I can see this being a huge reveal down the line, and one that could be potentially devastating for all the rest of our characters.
Oh, yeah.
Pomni, obviously, but also for all the other characters who are trapped in here who would be seeing her as the one to blame for their current imprisonment. Also, real quick, super short micro theory. I don't think we have enough information to figure out what the initials in the company name C and A stand for, but one possibility that did jump
Cain?
out to me, it could potentially stand for Cain and Abel, partially named
What?
after the AI ringleader of the simulation Cain, which could then lead itself to a lot of interesting story possibilities.
Who's Abel?
You see, Cain and Abel are a pair of brothers who are the sons of Adam and Eve, with
Oh.
Cain ultimately killing his brother and creating the first ever murder in the world.
Oh.
Anyway, you know how we love ourselves a good biblical reference here, and I just wanted to mention it in case we get more clues in future episodes. But
Nice.
something we do have more than enough to say about. Theory number 3, all the characters aren't actually humans trapped inside the digital circus. Instead, they're all digital copies of the brains of humans who've put on these headsets
Ah.
and then forced into the simulation. Now, this is a pretty big swing. I mean, Pomni's first line of the series is practically, "Oh no, I'm a human who put on a headset and now I'm trapped here." And then Cain follows it up with this.
My, it appears a new human has entered this realm!
Yep.
Human. He calls her a human. And that actually lines up with what we've seen with the official synopsis.
Oh, yeah.
Explicitly calling Pomni and the others humans, in contrast to Cain being an AI. Quote from that synopsis: "A woman gets trapped in a crazy virtual world along with 5 other humans and are now subject to the whims of wacky AI and their own personal trauma."
Also, to mention, even the game itself, like, you know, what they said, the NPCs, like what was her name? The freaking Cloink Queen? She described Jax as like, as a rabbitoid, and also other people are just other characters. They don't specifically say humans, except for, you know, obviously, wacky AI and the personal. The ones that wacky AI and personal traumas. Oh, I thought it was the wacky AI has personal trauma. That's fine. Cool.
Traumas. Plus, I just personally like the image of a bunch of people strapped into these VR headsets a la Sword Art Online. All of that being said, I believe
But yeah, that
there's
is interesting.
a lot of evidence pointing towards these characters being computerized clones rather than actual humans. For instance, as I mentioned above, Pomni starts going a bit crazy when she sees her desk from the real world in the circus's back room.
Yep.
So think, what was actually on that desk? A headset. Pretty clearly a headset that is not on any human's head. And
Yeah.
that's not just a thing in the simulation, it's also on the desk in the real world too that we see in the final shot of the pilot.
Oh, yeah.
There's a human trapped in the digital circus here with a headset firmly planted on their head that they can't get off. Shouldn't they, you know, be stuck there with the headset on their head?
That is a
Given
good
the one
point,
that
yeah.
we have to go off of right now, it makes more sense that Pomni put on the headset, had her consciousness copied into the game, and then she just took off the headset to go home. Meanwhile, Pomni in the game can't take it off because she's not a flesh and blood human anymore. She's a digital copy whose memories begin the moment the headset was put on. And even if we're wrong and this desk isn't Pomni's, all the other characters went through this exact same process when they first joined, as Jax hinted at when he sarcastically said,
How do I take this headset off?
Just keep grabbing at it. That works for all of us.
they all tried the exact same thing, and it didn't work for any of them.
Whoa,
They're
hold
all
on. I missed
digital
something. Hold on. Look what she pulls her teeth. Oops. Look at that. You can see the unrendered part of her. Look, see, there's red. There's white over there. There's her hair. It's like part of her gums. That's cool.
Exact same
Also her
thing,
eye,
and it
that's
didn't
funny.
work for any of them. They're all digital copies grasping at a VR.
But yeah, actually, this theory makes sense. Like, you know, why would what would this mean for the characters? You know, like, would they just have to go away? Would they accept their new life here, or would they, under some circumstances, have to go and reconnect to their human part? Like, would they connect and then they gain their memories? You know, would they like fuse into one or something? I don't know, but that is interesting.
headset that isn't there anymore. But you know the thing that really convinced me of this theory? The mannequins.
Oh yeah,
notice
this
these
part.
guys? All throughout the episode, we see several artist mannequins populating the circus. You know, these are the things that artists will sometimes buy to help them get references for poses. Most prominently,
that's
we
why.
see them in the restaurant with Kane and Bubble acting as background characters. But why would they matter? Well, we know that Kane can create NPCs.
Kane, is this one of your NPCs or is this a new sucker?
So maybe these mannequins are just random, nameless characters that Kane made up to fill in the circus.
I think they're just there to be
Maybe,
silly,
but
to be
that
honest.
just doesn't sit right with me. First off, the dolls are clearly capable of emotions. We see one get upset when Pomni interrupts taking a bath, silently screaming at Pomni until she slams the
Silently?
door. There's something more going on here than just these things being background extras. Take a look at this. When Ragatha is showing Pomni
Oh, yeah,
to her
this-
room,
they
there
have
are
this-
several other doors for other characters in the back.
Yeah.
This is actually a great piece of world building. We see that each of the current characters have themselves their own rooms, as well as several other characters that we haven't met yet. There's this colorful one that I can't quite make out, what looks to be a pinkish purple goo monster, some sort of cute doggo, green and orange anteater looking guy, a black queen.
Okay, hold on. I want to mention this because I probably want to go to it again. To me, this looks like the Mr. DNA from Jurassic Park. This looks like Blob or Bob from Monsters Inc. Or not Monsters Inc. Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens, but pink and the one eye, and I don't know. Maybe he's more like that one. What was his freaking name? Gubby or something. You know what I mean? It was this little. It's just like. Where he looks just like this, except they don't have mouths. They have a little part that covers their mouths. Yeah, so the dog here, look at him, he looks funny. And this guy, he is not an anteater. I will mention that he is not an anteater. He's a string worm from the commercials where you put a little, you have a little rope on the string, and you pull the rope, and the worm follows the string. That is not an anteater. I will tell you you are wrong. Film theory, Mad Pat. You're wrong on that. And Queen Chess is there too. R.I.P. She probably got distracted. Let's be honest. Anyways, let's go back into there. Sorry,
Chess
game
piece
theory.
that I'm
Film
gonna
theory.
guess is named Queenie seems to be Kinger's counterpart, implying that he didn't come into the simulation alone. Regardless, all of these portraits
Alone?
have giant red X's over them.
Could have
That
just been a
checks out.
coincidence.
These are likely characters that have abstracted in the past, just like Kaufmo did. We even
Oh, yeah.
see other abstracted creatures in the
Oh,
cellar
yeah.
when Kane banishes Kaufmo. Anyway, along with these past and current characters, we also see several doors with blank mannequins on
Yeah,
them.
the mannequin
Not just one,
doors.
but multiple doors. If I had to guess what's going on here, when a new human enters the game, these rooms transform into one that's appropriate for them.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna mention that. There's either there to just, fill out space, or, they just put it this there. That makes sense.
And the mannequin on the door transforms into their character. And what's more, I believe that there's a mannequin in the game that also transforms into that character. Right now, they're placeholders, but they get molded into these human copies whenever someone new puts on the headset, and their brain gets scanned into the system. That would fit thematically with the idea of the mannequins to begin with. They're supposed to be used as references and then turned into something real when you're using them for your art.
That makes
That
sense.
would also fit with the fact that they're on the doors of all these empty rooms, and the characters being scanned clones of human brains would fit the fact that they can't take off their headsets, despite us seeing a headset not being worn at a desk that is clearly meant to be Pomni's.
I mean, it's probably, they just probably, they probably couldn't model a whole human there, or even that, they probably just could have, I don't know, they don't mention this either, but it's probably like a literal situation where, if you watch, this is a deep cut, if you watch the episode Game Over from Ben 10, the original series, there is a episode where Ben and Gwen, they're playing video games. They're playing Sumo Slammers on their whatever, it was old PlayStation, at least PlayStation Win. Then lightning strikes from those purple lighting, specifically from Dr. Victor. Not elaborating on that. While he was upgrading the machine to make, or upgrading the PS5 on the laptop, making or not the PS5, upgrading the PlayStation on the laptop, Gwen's laptop, to make her scores go low. So the combination between upgrade and the purple lighting and the laptop and the PS station equals both of them getting sucked into the game, like physically sucked in. Like there was a flash of light and they both disappear into the game. Upgrade could have pulled them out, but he was too lazy. So yeah, like I was thinking maybe this is that, where physically they were transported into the game. That's why there's no characters here. That's why there's no one wearing the headset. Anyways, I'm probably talking this time. What I said I was going to talk more during theories and video reactions, I was not kidding, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that.
all fits with what we've seen from the series so far. In short, the
Yeah.
series is gaslighting us. It
Gaslighting.
isn't about a bunch of humans trapped in a simulation. It's about a bunch of human consciousnesses that have been scanned into an AI system and then
I mean,
mapped
this would be a
onto
good,
black
you
mannequin
know,
bodies,
interesting
where the computer can then simulate their
plot
human
twist.
behavior and push their buttons to the breaking point, learning the weaknesses of the human psyche. And
Mm.
then, when they've had too much and abstract out of the system, well, then you just boot up another new simulation and try again. There is no exit door, just an endless loop of torturous tests run by Kane as he tries to understand the human experience. Just like a real circus, all of it is just a big performance. But hey, you know what character in the show that I think is criminally underrated?
Who?
Bubbles. This adorable
Yeah.
little bubble.
Oh, I did it again. Shoot. No. Stop it. Stop it. Bubble.
Thing. But I know for a fact that they would absolutely love the food from the sponsor of today's episode.
Uh-oh. Sponsor. Well, go check out Sundays. Do they elaborate on it? Okay, nope, they don't. That's fine. That's fine. Bum. All right, so wow, yeah, that was a very interesting theory. Gave some really good points. It's not just the Kane is actually evil. He's actually the bad guy. Don't trust him. Which, I mean, you know, obviously they probably had to word it that way because of you know, YouTube stuff. Which not bashing YouTube, not at all. Y'all are great. Ha 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 ha. He actually makes really good points here. What else do I have to say? The stuff about Pomni making the thing. The what was the first one? The show is a 2000s thing. Which, I mean, you know, it's probably not that like much of a theory, other than, you know, just a observation. You know what I mean? Like it's just straight up like, hey, this is actually probably what's going on. And also with Pomni making the game, that makes sense. Like what they presented, which, I mean, you know, taking in that information and putting it there, like that would make a good narrative for her being somewhat responsible for what's going on, and for the other characters who, you know, slowly get this dislikeness of her. Which, I mean, it's already sort of starting with what, you know, she didn't really interact much with the other characters other than that one scene, including Jax, and also with Ragatha, in her trying to save herself instead of trying to save Ragatha. She was just looking for an exit, which, you know, there was that moment at the end where they both just look down or look away, which, you know, that's, you know, it's a tough move. I want them to I want them to be happy and be friends again, even if they're all, whatever they said, they're digital copies of consciousness into a digital world. Which, I mean, like, it's not that different from, you know, what apparently is going on, where it's someone's consciousness into a digital world. It's a copy of a consciousness into the world. So, like, sure, they don't remember their human names, but they still, like, remember some stuff of the human world. The human realm, the human world. I was gonna say human world. So yeah, that makes sense to me. Like, in a way, it also has, you know, it has, you know, like, the sense of, okay, they want to get out, they probably can't get out, but they want to, but they have to eventually face the reality that they cannot get out because they literally don't exist, unless, you know, they do this thing where I mean, they probably won't, because, you know, let's be honest, they're probably going to keep it as I don't have any way to elaborate on this, but early FNAF, where they showed no humans and they only just showed characters in games. So, like, that's what they would do here. They wouldn't show humans, but they would just show characters in games and such. And a very well modeled desk that looks like it would be IRL. Unless, you know, they do more what they do in that little wacky watch commercial where they just have some humans walking by. It's where it's like live action and they put little bits of animation here and there. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, what if they eventually meet up, right? The humans find the headgear or whatever, and then they put it back on, and they gain the memories of the digital consciousness. You know, like, the digital consciousness is joined back with the IRL consciousness, and they both have each other's memories, and they both, like, essentially turned back into one again. Which, I mean, you know, that would be an interesting way to go about it. That would be an interesting way to end the production series. Because to me, like, this seems very, like, it's very differently story driven than from what I've seen in other shows. You know, like, this is probably, like, you know, the end goal of this is just to find a way out. You know, like, find a way out, or, you know, continue doing these adventures while also, you know, learning more about this world and what they can do to either, you know, pass the time or try to find a way to, you know, eventually slowly find a way out. Or, as Kane say, get spoiled, because, you know, he's a nerd and he's sus. So, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. I turned this 17-minute video into 45 minutes. So, yeah, when I said I was going to try to do more reactions, I wasn't kidding. Those doubting me on, I don't know. I don't have any haters yet. Only you can be my hater. Tell me a mean comment below. Don't do that. Or do that. Be like silly, like, your face is dumb. You smell bad. Your fish is on the lawn. I don't know. Anyways, I've probably said enough. Thank you all for watching. This has been my reaction to Film Theory. Go watch them first. Go watch. Okay, well, go watch Digital Circus first. Then go watch Film Theory's theory of Digital Circus, and then come watch me. I do reactions and or video games and or all that. It depends on how I'm feeling, and I am feeling doing this today. So yeah, my name is ANDAY. This has been my reaction to Film Theory. Go watch them. Go watch me. Go watch me watching them. Go watch this video of me watching them. Like, comment, subscribe, and please, that'll really help me out. Let's get to 200 subscribers. If I haven't already reached that right yet, and I'm just recording this as I do it. Anyways, I thank you all for watching. My name is ANDAY, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.